Do you struggle with connecting with your body sexually? Are you a survivor of possible sexual trauma, still trying to figure out where the disconnect comes from? Are you a child sexual assault survivor? Well, today I want to talk to you about trauma and how it affects your body. I'm Deshelle B. I'm your sensual self specialist, and you may not know it yet, but I'm also a somatic trauma psychotherapist. And today I want to talk to you about trauma and why we have to be somatically aware. So, trauma affects most people in the world. There's not many people that have not been affected by trauma. But those of us women that have been connected by sexual trauma, we may feel a complete disconnect from our bodies. Studies indicate that over 50% of sexual assault survivors report feeling disconnected from their bodies and struggle with body image and self-perception as a result. So that is most of the clients that I see. I have worked with sexual assault survivors at a rape crisis center and in my own private practice. And now I want to talk to you about supporting you through possibly the trauma that you may have been experiencing. So I want to give you 5 ways that trauma may have caused you to feel disconnected from your body. So I'll tell you a story before I get started. I had a client who she was a child sexual assault survivor. Her mother's husband molested her as a child, as a teenager. And so when she became an adult, she had a very hard time connecting sexually with her partners. Not really realizing that it was an issue until she started to have real relationships. When she decided she really wanted to be present with her partner, someone that she wanted to share her life with, she recognized that she really wanted to be connected and was feeling disconnected. Some of the issues she didn't even notice, her partner noticed. Some of her issues were holding her breath, not staying in the scene, disassociating, which means kind of checking out what's going on in her body. But also just not feeling that she even wanted to be sexual, didn't even feel comfortable with being sexual in her body. And so she came to me to work on trying to figure out how to reconnect again and how to be a better lover for herself. And so these are some of the things we worked on. So I want to tell you before we get started, talking about these 5 ways that women feel disconnected if they've experienced trauma. Before we do, I want to make sure that you click the subscribe button at the bottom because you don't want to miss any of this valuable content, but also hit the bell so that way you catch all my next videos before they come on. You already know as soon as they hit YouTube, you're able to get and watch these videos. So let's talk about trauma. 1, the body becomes a site of pain or violation. If you're a woman that has survived trauma, you may feel that your body is a bad place. You may feel, some women have felt that their bodies, they've equated it to a very negative place. So they often trauma often leaves a physical or emotional imprint that makes their body feel unsafe. When our body's feeling safe, we don't like to be touched. We don't like to be loved. We don't even know how to receive love, and sometimes even from our own selves. And so survivors may also disassociate from bodily sensations to avoid reliving the experience. So you could be experiencing a hug from your child, but it still may make you feel that triggered because you're almost feeling it's taking you back to that memory of where you've been sexually assaulted. It could even be speaking to someone. It could even be a pleasant touch that people deem pleasant. You possibly would deem it pleasant if it were you touching someone else. But if someone were to give you a hug or, kind of reach in, that may feel uncomfortable for you. Let's not talk about any sexual touches, any places that you deem sexual and you feel like that experience pleasure when you want to be touched. You may feel as if those places are off limits because of the trauma you've experienced, but not have a reason to explain, the feelings that you're feeling. 2, trauma creates hypervigilance and disconnection. What that means is you're paying attention to all things that are going on. You're not able to kind of relax and enjoy maybe those pleasant moments that should be pleasant for you because you're hypervigilant. What's going to happen next? How am I going to react? What's he going to do next? Very hypervigilant around the experience that you're feeling when you're trying to have a somatically sensual moment with a partner. Trauma then activates the fight or flight response, making the nervous system hypervigilant. So that means you're not able to really calm down. Your heart rate may be pumping a lot. You may be sweating under your arms. You may feel tension in your body, feel it from anxiety. Things could be happening simply because your body is hypervigilant because of your nervous system, because you're triggered. The heightened state can cause women to ignore or suppress bodily cues as a way of coping. So you may then be well aware of what's going on, or you may kind of almost numb out because you don't want to really say anything. You don't want to because you're now back in that trauma response. Okay. An example of this could be chronic stress or PTSD can make it difficult to notice hunger, fatigue, or even pleasure. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. Emotional numbness, this is 3, as a protective mechanism. Some women may develop emotional numbness to shield themselves from overwhelming feeling. This numbing can extend to physical sensations, leaving them unable to feel joy, pleasure, and pain. So you may be in the middle of an experience with your lover, and you may just kind of check out. You may feel numb. You may feel very unaware of what's going on. Your body may even shut down. For some women, their vulvas can even close up because they don't feel, they're not able to relax and enjoy the experience. That's called vaginismus, when they feel their vulvas clenching and they're not able to receive any stimulation, penile or with a toy or, finger or anything like that, any type of stimulation. Because of that, that's the protective mechanism. That's your body's way of saying, nope, I'm going to keep us safe no matter what. And so they hold on to that numbing feeling. So what this does, it says your body, some survivors of childhood trauma may struggle to identify or trust their body signals. So for some survivors, it's hard for them to say this is good touch. Because they've had so much bad touch in the past, it's hard for them to distinguish between good touch and bad touch. And then we also have to think about societal pressures that come with us if you're a child sexual assault survivor, of what you've been taught in your home, of how you got to be a good girl, how you've got to, keep your legs closed, don't have sex before a certain age, all the societal pressures that we also have. Those same pressures extend into womanhood. They extend into adulthood. And so these same things that we've heard, also adding on our traumas, they make us feel like we can't actually be expressive. And if so, we're now going to numb that because we're not supposed to feel that when you actually are. That's where the somatics comes in. And it goes right into this. into this. Women who experience trauma with societal systems, sexism, racism, or body shaming may internalize messages that their bodies are not worthy of care or love. This is huge for women because women we love community, we love hugs, we love to be touched. We want to have pleasure, but because of the societal pressures on us, sometimes we feel like we're not worthy. Sometimes, and especially if you're a sexual assault survivor, you definitely may feel like you're not worthy of having pleasure. Maybe you caused the trauma that happened to you. Maybe you're to blame. Maybe someone else is blaming you for what happened to you. And so because of that, that also makes us think we're not worthy. We can no longer ever have pleasure because of one thing that happened in our past. But that's not true. Your body can allow you to have pleasure again, for sure. Lastly, trauma interferes with the brain and body connection. Trauma can disrupt the relationship between the brain and body, causing survivors to feel out of sync. So good touch may feel bad, but bad touch may feel good. It may feel like you want to argue, you want to be aggravated all the time. It's a trauma response. You're really wanting the love, but you're out of sync with what you're feeling. And so when that happens, we create a disturbance because we don't know that we don't know, our bodies don't know that this is good, and we are able to accept that. And so our bodies then end up acting out of sync, whereas you're responding negatively to the good thing, and you may be responding positively to the bad. That's what that out of sync feeling feels like for you. The disruption often leads to difficulty interpreting sensations, such as distinguishing anxiety from excitement. And so that's huge. If you don't know whether you're excited or you're anxious, how are you then going to be able to receive pleasure? It's just that simple. This is where somatics and being somatically sensual comes into play, is that I help you reconnect with yourself, learn more about yourself, and increase your body image of yourself, make you feel more self-confident, and help you to really enjoy not only yourself and your own self-pleasure, but also pleasure from others when you're ready. And that's what starts today with being somatically sensual with me. If you want to learn more about being somatically sensual, if you want to learn more about how to kind of work through some of these trauma experiences, maybe learning some exercises and things that you can do to kind of help get you in the realm of freeing yourself of this. This isn't therapy. This is just the coaching that I can help you with. If you want to learn more, then I am offering a free masterclass. The link is listed below for you to click the link and join my free masterclass so you can learn more about how to become more somatically sensually aware. We will talk about things that you can incorporate that will be helpful to you to reconnect with your body, help you feel like you're more attuned with your body than you were before. So if you're interested, click the link and join my masterclass. Lastly, don't forget, hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss out on more of the content that's coming. Thank you so much for joining me.